The following podcast contains adult content. It is not suitable for minors, professional settings, or the faint of heart. Welcome to FOREPLAY Goes South's About Last Night, a reoccurring monthly episode in which I take a story told on the stage last night's live event and release it the very next day. Well, I had recently graduated college. I was a little bit, I took some time with my degree, let's say that. I had some priorities. So I was 25 at the time. And just after I left the restaurant industry, shout out. And before I entered the corporate world, I thought, let's just go somewhere. I'd been living at home for a couple months, and I was like, God, I just need a weekend to just do something. And I always loved driving somewhere on my own, just a little bit further than is reasonable. So I went down to Virginia Beach. I was like, I'd never been to Virginia Beach. And I got myself a room there, and it was in August, and turned out the weather was really shitty that weekend. It was awful. It was bad. So the first night I was there, I met a bartender, and then that bartender took me to their place they like to go to afterwards, and we had a great old time. And then I started getting weather alerts on my phone, Virginia Beach, batten down the hatches, lockdown. So I was like, oh shit. So I got a couple of microwavable pot pies for the hotel room. And truly some of the worst pre-mixed drink shit in a can that you ever had. Just disgusting, nasty stuff. I was like, I'm all set. And I was in this hotel room, and I was on my period, but I was over the bad part of the period and onto the part where I was just extremely horny. And I was like, okay, well, I can't go hit the bars because everyone's locked the fuck down. What can I do? What's the logical answer, Patrick? Yes, this was, but before this section of Craigslist was shut down, I put an ad on Craigslist, and you know what? I'd been experimenting with being direct after a lifetime of being Catholic. Because what had being indirect and coy ever gotten me?
Nothing.
Purgatory. Sort of seeing through the window what I wanted. Never quite reaching it. So I was like, let's try this radical thing where I'm just very direct about who I am and what I want, because who gives a fuck? It's Craigslist. So I put up an ad. What was the ad of this the title of this Craigslist ad? It was called One Night Only. I said, are you looking to get your Red Wings? Boy, have I got the opportunity for you! I am Jeffy. I am unshaven everywhere. And I'm just down to clown. But I said, fellas, if you want to do butt stuff, bring your own lube. And I closed the phone, and I turned on some TV. And then I opened the phone, and the shitty Yahoo email address I had associated with Craigslist, because they don't give you direct contact information. You sent it through. It was very secure. I don't know why they shut it down. I sent it through Craigslist, and I'm going to say it was all of 5 minutes. I looked out. I had 60 emails in there. This is something we know from porn, right? There's really something for everybody. And, sex is not hard to get if you just have the right attitude. You just gotta be a go-getter. You can't be a negative Nelly. You just gotta go out and get it, babe. So I was like, okay, so now I have to put in some sort of selection criteria. So one thing that I did was, something I hadn't considered was from the title of the post, which was what? One night only thinking Petra's, what a dream. Okay. It came off like I was a very famous escort visiting town. So a lot of people were like, what's your rate? And listen, current me would have given more pause and thought to that. But I was just like, oh, I'm not that. I don't want to disappoint them. I don't have a menu. So, not those fellas. I was like, no, I'm just a normal girl. Yeah. So, I went through and sorted. Mostly it was by are you in this county? And I picked this guy, and he showed up, and he was sort of like a squat German fella. And I was like, sure, buddy. So we came inside, and we started working, and talking about sucking a soft dick. Do you remember, there was it was almost like a stress ball, but it was like a tube of jelly, right? That you would shake around. Satisfying for that purpose, but not what I wanted. So I gave it the old college try for a few minutes, and then I was like, this isn't gonna work out, friend. And I kicked him out the door. I went, next up on the list. And truly I found one of the most attractive dicks I've ever seen in my life. He's just down the road. I said, come in here, person from Ohio. Thank you for that information. Come on down. And he came in. He had a gorgeous dick. I put down towels, but there was only so much I could do. I had my period. It was going to happen. And I tipped the room service well. And truly, it was some of the, because I continued with my method of being direct, right? I was like, it's going to be ass up, and you're going to smack the ass. And he was shy at first. He was like, boo. I was like, no. I know I'm a redhead. My skin is sensitive. It gets red really fast. Keep going. Bam! And he hit it till I liked it. And it was so fucking good. And then I sent him away, and I had a nice little bath. And I felt very satisfied with myself. And you know what? I stuck with the being direct thing, and it works to this day. Thank you, Pedros.
This episode of FOREPLAY Goes South podcast was recorded and produced by event host and podcast creator Metanoia. These stories are recorded live every third Tuesday of the month at Petra's in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information about FOREPLAY Goes South, follow us at FOREPLAY GS on Facebook, FetLife, Instagram, and Twitter.